What's up, guys? Felrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. Today, what I want to do is I want to start off this series of how to build a roster 101, and this video is going to be going over the Great League and the limited formats of the Great League. Not every single one of them, but just kind of a consensus, like top set of what you can build to get ready for most of them. You know, the entire point of this video is going to be how to get your roster started, what to build first, what to focus in on, and then after that, kind of some slightly less meta things, but you really want to focus on these staples, these things that are really the core meta, so that you can get accustomed to the core meta, and also because they're going to be the most consistent things that you can run in the Great League. So let's get started. So I've got two groups on this page. The top group I feel is going to be, I mean, they're both really generalist groups, but this first page here is going to be like the generalistiest of generalists. So you've got the Trevenant, you've got the Skarmory, you've got the Umbreon, you've got the Galarian Stunfisk. Now, on the bottom, you've got Walrein, Registeel, Swampert, Defense Form, Deoxys. I think that these 8 encompass the Great League meta at the moment very well. Excuse me, a little stuffy in my throat here. And you can see that most of these are going to be on the rankings page. So every time somebody asks me, Zare, what do I build? What should I work on next? I tell them, go check the PvPoke rankings page and work on whatever's next that functions for you. So everybody's got a play style. Definitely something that you know what you like and you know what you don't like. So just kind of pick from what you know you like. You know, you like fast, spammy things, or you like slow, you know, hard hitting, fast move kind of things. Like, you just kind of figure that out over time. But like, focus on what you want to build and focus in, you know, try and align it with some of these meta picks so that you can at least have some consistency, so that when the ELO system comes back and we have rated seasons again, you're ripping and ready to go with some of the things that are the most consistent and best things to play in the game. So I'm particularly partial to Umbreon. It's probably one of my favorite save swaps. I consider myself a very adept Umbreon player in GBL. So it's just kind of where I would go. But there's definitely a lot of top picks that you can go and you can just give it a shot. So, but the Trevenant, you know, Walrein core is very strong, but everything here is a generalist, as I've said. So Skarmory functions as like the anti-grass in the game. Stunfisk is just super, you know, it's got bulk, it's got a very versatile moveset in Earthquake and Rock Slide, and it can beat so many things. And a lot of the times it's like, should I build something? Can it beat Bastion? And can it beat Galarian Stunfisk? And can it beat Registeel? If the answer is yes, then it's probably worth having. And the thing with Walrein is that it's got a practically unresisted moveset until we get Araquanid, and only if someone's running Surskit that resists Earthquake and High School Spear too, but that's about it. So Walrein is pretty much unresisted by the entire meta in general, which is part of why it's so strong, and then Icicle Spear as a move is just incredible. Registeel getting Zap Cannon is what really pushed it up to the top here. Before, when it had Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, it was just some spice after, you know, the appearance of Galarian Stunfisk. But now with Zap Cannon, it's able to strip shields and/or win the matchup outright just by existing. So definitely, definitely very worthy of its top pick there. But Trevenant being at number 2, that's because it has the ability to bait with Seed Bomb, has Shadow Ball to nuke things, and it's got Shadow Claw, which just rips things, and it's one of the best fast moves in the game. Swampert having a Hydro Cannon and Mud Shot is just an absolutely deadly combination. And Defense Form Deoxys is just a defensive shield that has counter, which is very good to have. Counter is, again, one of the best fast moves in the game. And it's also got the ability to blast something with Psycho Boost or have your choice coverage of Rock Slide or Thunderbolt, both of which are extremely versatile in the open meta. So when it comes to, and you're going to see why that I didn't include some of these things like Sableye, Medicham, and Azumarill on the last page, is because these are all the XLs of Great League, right? So these are the 6 main Great League XLs. If you're looking to build XLs for Great League, these are the 6 you focus in on. Everything else is spice. Nothing else is meta relevant in the open leagues, but I mean, this is the group, you know. And Sableye, Medicham, Bastiodon is its own super core meta team. Lickitung is extremely good in just about every format you can put it in. Azu is like, I mean, it's the cornerstone of the Great League meta. What can I say? And then Diggersby is a little bit more on the spice category, but it's still very good because it's an XL with Mudshot, with Earthquake, and a Bait Move and Fire Punch. So it wins a lot of things based on the Sims. But again, if you're looking to build the XLs, these are the ones that you'd hone in on. Everything else, again, is just spice. Sableye, being one of the best safe swaps in the game, has the ability to flip matchups to return and has Shadowclaw Foul Play to do some insane damage to anything that doesn't already resist that. Lickitung is probably one of the bulkiest things after Bastion in the entire Great League, and it has the ability to just function as an anti-ghost, but it has coverage move and power whip, which makes it very effective against even water types too, like Azu. Makes it a very versatile and deadly threat, especially with all that bulk. It's very hard to out-bulk something like Lickitung. Bastion is a polarizing pick. I don't like it personally because I don't like to be locked in against something that's just going to own my face. So Bastion functions as probably the best anti-flyer in the game, but is also ineffective against like ground types and other things that can, hit it with fighting type moves. It's got some very obvious weaknesses, but with some very obvious strengths. So it's one of those things you're going to play in the lead, or you're going to try to like maneuver it by using a safe swap to draw out the thing that would beat it and then try and bring it in. Team building is a different video, but speaking of fighters, though, Metacham being the top fighting pick in the entire league, having the thickest thighs in the West, and having an extremely versatile moveset with counter, ice punch, and psychic is going to be able to let it handle a great many threats, and it can also run power up punch to act as a closer with a deadly sweeping ability. Azu is, again, one of the most versatile things. It's got Ice Beam to handle grasses and flyers and all these other, threats that it has. Play Rough is fairy damage, so it makes it a very, very adept anti-fighter, and it also has the ability to clap things with Hydro Pump, so it's got moveset to keep people guessing, and it's also very thick. It's able to function as a closer, as an opener, a switch. You can handle everything, basically. And the Diggersby is, again, it's got Earthquake and it's got Fire Punch, so it is a very good anti-steal, if anything. Moving into the limited format picks. So, kind of ignoring the rankings page at this point. Frostlass is like the queen of the limited metas, right? So anything that she's able to be in, she'll probably be good. Having Avalanche and Shadow Ball is extremely potent on just about everything. And that's really all there is to be said about it. I would probably build Frostlass above almost everything else on this page because of how good it is in all the limited metas that it's in. Lapras I put up here because it's a bulky ice type that's not Walrein. So if Walrein finds itself banned in a meta, it or even Dugong would be good picks. Vigoroth is a very excellent safe swap kind of Pokemon. Has counter and body slam, very spammy, very hard hitting, being an attack weighted thing. And then it's also able to draw out things that would normally beat other things, like, draw out the fighter so the Bastion can come in, or draw out, a anti-fighter, just things that you would want it to be able to do. And it can also put a lot of pressure on everything with body slam. Like, it can almost beat an Altaria in an even matchup with body slam. It's crazy. Ariados, one of my recent favorite things to run, comes in as one of my favorite limited format picks because Lunge, Poison Sting on its own is super great, but then Cross Poison or Megahorn, just either hitting a hard hitting move or the ability to nuke something with Megahorn is huge. Jellicent comes in as it's got Bubble Beam, it's got Shadow Ball. Anything with Shadow Ball is always worth a look, especially when it has a decent energy gaining move like Hex or Bubble. So Jellicent's going to be worth your dust for sure. It's kind of fading in and out as the cups come in and out, but it's always going to be one of those things that's good to have in your back pocket. Sort of same with Whiscash. You don't see it as much anymore, but in some metas it really shines. Given that it's a ground and water type, if you're in a meta where Swampert is banned, but you need that typing as a Mud Boy, definitely a solid pick, and it's got Blizzard to nuke flyers with, so you can always keep people guessing. Talonflame comes in. It's sort of an open pick. You're not going to see Talonflame in a ton of limited metas, but we've seen it in the Love Cup recently, and it's been in other metas as well, like Holiday Cup. So whenever it's in a meta, it's good to have. Flame Charge Brave Bird is an extremely potent combo. It can get shields from just about anything, and it really doesn't get walled by much. And then Drapion, being the last thing on the list, excellent save swap, very spammy, has Poison Sting, access to Aqua Tail, Crunch, and Sludge Bomb, so depending on how you like the meta, you can change your moveset to match, and Drapion is a monster, especially in, any format where a Dark Poison type is just supreme. Like Crunch is real strong, especially on something that can spam it like Drapion. So one of those, another great thing to have on your person if you can build one. Heading into this next one here. So these are the XLs of the limited formats. Not quite as universal, but if they're legal, they're good. Wobbuffet, super tanky, has counter, has charm. You will need the purified version though. You can only single move a regular Wobbuffet, so get the Hundo purified Wobbuffet for PvP, so you have Mirror Coat and Return on the moveset. Alolan Grimer is a dark poison with Poison Jab, Crunch, and Sludge Bomb. Extremely strong pick if you get the XL candies and the dust for it. Also really good in open too. So, I mean, it's really good in both places. Purified Nidorina with Poison Sting, Poison Fang, and Return. Very spammy, very potent if it's not hard-walled by something. Definitely if you get like a purified Nidoran female or Nidorina from a rocket, that's a really good use for it if you don't want to build a Nidoqueen for Ultra League. Premier Cup, specifically. Premier Cup Classic, fine. Orbidam Trash comes in next on this list. In half the limited metas that I've seen, it's been legal. And because it's a bug steal and it's got confusion, it's also very tanky. It's a very good pick. All of these things are going to fall into the category of good to have in your pocket when the right meta rolls around. Volibite comes in at that same place where it's like another Mandibuzz, but it's got Air Slash, Brave Bird, and I think Dark Pulse, Foul Play. It's got I don't remember the other move it has, but I know it's got Brave Bird, and that by itself makes it really potent. Pachirisu is a controversial one at best because it's only available in specific parts of the world. But if you've got one, and you got a Hundo, and you got it to level 50, 51, it's very good usually in the metas that it's in. It's extremely bulky and can beat things that it normally shouldn't beat in the 2 shields usually. The recent community day we had gave you a chance to get a Alolan Sandshrew. If you got a Hundo, it's really good in limited formats in Great League as an XL level 51 Sandshrew. Litleo, similar. Again, very specific meta uses like Holiday Cup. Basically any format in which a Frostlass exists, you can use Litleo and counter it pretty heftily because it hard counters the entirety of the Frostlass moveset. But again, all of these are going to be XLs. They're either going to be level 50 or dang near close to it. So just keep that in mind when you're building these because they are not cheap. Last page of things that you can build. So a lot of these are still good and open, but we're going to focus in on these because these are like the not so super Metacore picks, but still really good, and you should definitely build these if given the opportunity. Now, Nidoqueen and Scrafty form one of the strongest cores known to mankind. I wrote it myself to the legend and the leaderboards in season, I think it was 8 when the poison move set updates dropped. Altaria is going to be a really strong pick. Priscilia is super bulky, anti-fighter. Alolan Ninetales, again, can be a charmer. Powder Snow user, very good pick for any meta that it's useful in. It's even good in open. I run it a lot in open. It's really good. Cofagrigus is a very bulky ghost type, but gets completely walled by dark types, so just keep that in mind when you use it. Obstagoon and Escavalier being the kind of non-fighter fighters like a Vigoroth, but having access to a strong move set like Night Slash and has the ability to gunk and Hyper Beam things. Obstagoon also has the ability to use Cross Chop for another bait coverage move. Escav gets Aerial Ace, Acid Spray, the Drill Run and Mega Horn are the other 2 moves that it gets. So very strong move set. Mandibuzz is the non-XL version of me, and it's basically dubbed as the Flying Umbreon. So super bulky, has a very similar moveset, gets Aerial Ace instead of like Last Resort or anything coverage-wise, so still decent. And then lastly, we've got Venusaur being the Grass Poison type, very good anti-fighter, cores very well with the Galarian Stunfisk, very strong thing since the beginning of PvP. So if you can, build one, make sure it's got Frenzy Point on it as well. Last thing we're going to be getting into here are the cores for Great League. So one of the strongest meta teams you can possibly run is the Azu Trevenant G-Fisk line. Very strong, synergizes in almost any way you want to run it. I think I saw Yasser Ali do this one, if he's the one who came up with it or if it just happens to be, someone picked the top 3 things. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised, but still very strong team. Swampert Skarmory is one of the cores that's been around since the dawn of PvP. You've got Swampert to handle steel types and things that wall Skarmory, and you've got Skarmory to handle all the things that the Swampert can't handle. I already talked about the Nidoqueen's Crafty Core, and then you've got the trifecta of, you can even run this as a team, of Medicham, Lickitung, Walrein. Basically, Medicham being the anti-fighter and the two things in the back weak to fighting. Just as some examples here, right? And then you've got the 4 in the middle are like some of the cornerstone safe swaps of the Great League. You got Sableye, which is one of my favorites. Umbreon, another one of my favorites. You got Deoxys Defense, which you can put at the safe swap, or you can put at the position of lead, however you want to play it. And then Registeel is just like I said, it either strip shields off of things or you win the matchup. It's kind of how it goes. But this is kind of just a quickie one here. Just wanted to go over some of the top things that you can build for Great League. Hopefully this video was of help to you. And if you would like to, I do have a Patreon Discord that you can join in the description. That my top lists for all leagues are always updated and kept fresh with times on that Discord, as well as early access to basically everything. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to the people who are in that Patreon Discord, because you guys are the best supporters I could ever ask for, and I could not be doing this without you guys. And with that, I will catch you in the next video. Thank you.